in the Jupiter Hall, which is one of the museum rooms in Hermitage that were finished in the spirit of the architecture of antiquity. The walls and pilasters are faced with green artificial marble. The walls are decorated with stucco work. The design of the ceiling includes medallions containing portraits of famous sculptors. I'd like to show you some of my favorite sculptures that I found interesting. And the first one is the bust of the Emperor Lucius Verus. He's shown in the character of a general after a great victory over the barbarians in 165 AD. He is wearing armor that is embellished with relief imagery, a mask of the Gorgon Medusa. The energetic turn of the head and the squared shoulders invest him with a look of power. The polished marble of the face contrasts with the curls of the beard and the tight locks of the hair. The emperor's biographers reported that Lucius Verus used to sprinkle his hair with gold dust so as to resemble some ancient Greek hero from the Iliad, Achilles or Hector, as they were imagined in his time. There is a second sculpture of Lucius Verus here. It's kind of different. He was an ambiguous figure in his time, and he was known for his passion for amusements and luxury. There is no expression of philosophical dignity in this portrait. Priority is given to elegance and deliberate idealization. His personality is conveyed through prettiness and sensuality that overshadow this man's inner world. The next sculpture that I found interesting is also about ancient Roman emperor. Portrait of the Emperor Caracalla as a youth. One of the most eloquent images in the Hermitage collection of Roman sculptural portraits, the boy's plump cheeks and small capricious mouth contrast with the look of suspicion in the slanting eyes, half closed beneath heavy lids. The cold, distrustful face carries a self-satisfied smile. Caracalla is known to have spent his childhood on the battlefield. After his father's death, he succeeded as co-ruler with his brother. The siblings made no secret of their mutual hatred. Each did all he could to be rid of his brother and to gain full power, until the elder finally committed fratricide. Caracalla has gone down in history as one of Rome's cruelest masters. A ferocious man, he was a real barbarian in appearance and in spirit, preferring barbarian clothing and worshipping barbarian gods. Next, I'd like to tell you about the statue of the goddess Aphrodite. Ancient Greeks created a very popular type of image of Aphrodite. In her hand, she held an apple with the inscription "Most Beautiful," and was awarded to her by Paris, the son of King of Troy. That type was the basis for this Roman copy. The composition is frontal, the forms of the body monumental, while the proportions are close to the canon established by Greeks. The decorative treatment of folds in the light chiton do not hide the outlines of woman's body. The head does not belong to this statue. Evidence can be seen in the locks of hair falling onto the shoulders, right here. The next sculpture is my favorite. Here is the statue of Jupiter, which is one of the largest sculptures from classical antiquity in any museum in the world. The statue was found during archaeological excavations at the villa of Emperor Domitian, who reigned from 81 to 96 AD. The manner of execution seen in the statue is reminiscent of the last statue of Zeus created for the temple at Olympia. The Roman sculpture combined marble with gilded wood and plaster to imitate a finish of gold and ivory. This sculpture is really impressive. And the last one that I'd like to show you, and I found it kind of interesting. It's here. It's pretty big hall. Sarcophagus with the marriage scene. Made for the burial of noble Roman, this sarcophagus shows the deceased on a day of his marriage. On the front wall of the sarcophagus, standing either side of an altar, are the bride and groom. The face of the latter clearly a portrait. The young couple are being united by the goddess of harmony. The groom is crowned by Valor, a winged figure of a woman with a palm branch in her hand. By the bride we see Venus, goddess of love and beauty, with her son, the god of love, Cupid. The god of marriage, Human, holding a torch, concludes the group of heavenly figures. They are surrounded by relatives and friends of the newlyweds. On the lid of the sarcophagus are the three goddesses of destiny and also Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva, the three main Roman divinities. The whole group is flanked by the god of the sun and to the right the goddess of the moon. In this way, people, gods, and the universe become witnesses to the irreproachable life of this Roman citizen. In this relief, the influence of Greek art is felt in the idealized treatment of faces, but the interest in portraiture, the lack of any free background surfaces, and a love of details all lie definitely within the Roman artistic tradition. Thank you for your attention. That's it.